Hi, and welcome to this tutorial about Woocommerce REST API. With the REST API, you can, by a little JavaScript, you can get like product lists and similar from Woocommerce and present it anywhere you like to. The web page you see to my left here is very primitive, but it just contains the data from a WooCommerce web shop that I made. It's just a model shop. But you can see here that we have the pictures and we have the descriptions and so on. So the question is, how do you do this? If we have an inspection of our code here, you'll be able to see that it's just ordinary HTML. And you can see that the products are just pasted by JavaScript into a div called catalog in this case. So how do we do a thing like that? Now, the first step one, that is to create a key pair, because you need permission to read inside this catalog here. So you'll have to go to your WooCommerce and to settings. In settings, you click on advanced, and in advanced, you click on REST API. Now we can create a key pair. So we add a key here, click on add key, should be keys, YouTube, tutorial, okay, generate API key, here it is. So now we are ready to add the key to our code. So now we are ready to add the secret and the key to the code. Let's just go to, or click this button and get the secret, and here we have it. That's our key. And we also want to add the secret. So here we have that one. That is the secret. Yes. And now everything should be ready. Now this code may look a little bit weird, but what we're trying to do is to glue this URL that points to my WooCommerce shop, and then it points to VP JSON, which is the JSON part of WordPress. WC must be WooCommerce, and V3 is version 3. And then we want to have a list of products, so we point to the place called products. Then this string must be combined with the consumer key, which is this one here that we made. And then again, this is combined with the secret, which is this one. And everything is then formatted to a nice URL string. And if we go to our browser, you can see a sample of that. No, we cannot. Oh, here it is. Yeah, sorry. Here it is. So here you see the kind of data that you get when you get this. And obviously, this is a very, very long URL. But you can see that, the data will actually be returned. But we want to have a look at it like this so that it's understandable. So how do we do that? Well, let's try to go back to our editor. First of all, you need to understand the kind of data that you get. You can see here from the console.log that we're trying to send out our data to the log. And you can also see that it's a fetch that will go in, and this woo rest is actually the very, very long URL. From the server, we get a response. The response is turned into JSON, and then you can begin to manipulate the data. First of all, we want to just see it in a console. So if you make a console log from our data, we should just be able to see the data object that we got from the server. So if we go to the web page, you can actually see that if you try to do it in this way, you open up the console, and here you see, yes, we do have an array. So we have data from the server, And if you kind of open up the object, you can see we have like 9 or 10 products. It's 10 actually. If we open up each of them, you can see that they are similar. So there may be like a name or an SRC for an image. You can see here image 0 and then SRC. That's the source of the image. And if we go into our browser, you can see that this will actually link to an image. And that's actually how we get the images, by the REST API. So you can see that, yeah, even though nothing is showing up yet, we have prepared things so that it's actually possible to do so. Now, the data we have seen is, this data is actually an array or an object. So we need a loop in order to open that one up. Here you see a loop like the one that we could use here, and if I save it, you'll see that almost immediately the products will turn up. But how do we call them, and how do we invoke, for instance, an image? That's what I'll show you now. You can see that we have a thing here called catalog. This one points to an ID. You can see we have an ID here called catalog, and this is where the products are shown in the browser. So if you go back to the JavaScript, you can say that this is catalog. Some people prefer to write this like document get element by ID catalog, but it's actually perfectly fine JavaScript to just write the name of the ID and then the inner HTML, and then the content will actually be spit out there. So we set some inner HTML, which is just some HTML. Here it's important that you write plus equals, because you want to append and append and append. So that's how that is done. If you only write equals, then you will only see one product. We can try to do that. And that's because you only have like one thing, and it's probably the last one that you see. So that's not what we want. We want plus equals here. And if we then save it, you can see that it works. Now I have a backtick here and a backtick here. And between them, we can add the kind of HTML that we want. So I have sandwiched everything into a section. And what you see here is then that we try to get data from each of the products from the JSON array that we got. For instance, we see the name of the product here, and if you invest or if you try to look into the object, you'll see that there is a thing called a name, and you can add the variable for that in curly brackets. You write $, curly brackets, and then you write data I, because we are inside a loop, and obviously I is where we are in the loop, and then we add dot, and then whatever we want to see, for instance name. You can see here, if we take a random one here and go to name, here it is, t-shirt with logo, and somewhere we will find that down here. That's the one actually here. So that's how we get the titles. And the same goes for an image. You know that an image has a source, and in order to find the source, we need to figure out what the source of the image is. And if you have a look at the object again, you know that data I is where we are. We need to then go into the images. So they are here, and you can see that this is actually also an array, and in number 0 we find the source for the image here. So with this dot syntax, we'll have images 0.src, and that's what is written here, and that is how we see the image. And then as an alt text. We could add that in the same way. We could add a name or description or whatever we want to have here, and then that would turn up too. And in a similar manner, you can get like prices and permalinks to order the thing and so on. So as you can see here, it's up to you how to format this HTML that you want to have. And this also means that you are not dependent on the way that, for instance, a blog wants to present your products. Now you can create the kind of markup that you need yourself in order to present your shop. And that's actually how the REST API works. So just to recapitulate, you need an endpoint. You need to know what that is. You need a consumer key, and you need a consumer secret. And then you can loop out the result from the server. And I have linked to the code below. And then that's all we need for today. If you have a look at our thing over here, you can see how it turned out, and you can also see the weird data from our object that we had from the REST API. And then I'll just stop by saying thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please give it a like, and if you didn't like it, well, don't tell anyone. And then that's it. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you soon on my channel here. Bye bye.